This is When I Grow Up with Paul Glazby.
So, Janelle, welcome to When I Grow Up.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
No problem. So, we've been friends for quite a while now. It's I can't remember when was the first London Hard House reunion?
2011 was. I think you played for us in 2012, if I remember correctly. It was the first time you played for us.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So, what's that? 13 years ago now.
Yeah, crazy, eh?
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
before all that, obviously, London Hard House reunion came about because of stuff that happened 25 years ago.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Went to London and obviously fell in love with the underground scene. Then moved to New Zealand and I was just missing, all my friends, and I was living on the farm. So going from London to the farm was obviously quite a big change. And I was just really missing, the nightlife and the clubbing scene and all that. So we decided to have a reunion. And that's how it all came about. Yeah.
So how long were you living in, obviously you're South African originally, so you went South Africa to London?
Yeah. End of 99, I got there, and the first year I was quite good. I didn't go clubbing much. So end of 2000, I kind of discovered clubbing. I think my first club was Fahrenheit from memory, and I was absolutely hooked from there on. And for like the next 2 years, I was basically just living in clubs every weekend.
Yeah,
living week to week, a little bit of traveling, but mainly just working and clubbing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I must admit I watched the that new TDV documentary this week. It took me ages. Someone sent it to me because I couldn't find it. Well, I could find it, but it wasn't. Like the region, it won't play in this region. So I went to buy it from Amazon or whatever it was, and it wouldn't download. So anyway, somebody sent it to me. But yeah, it was just incredible, kind of watching the footage of the club scene. Because all that footage would have been, sort of mid to late 90s, which is when I started going to clubs, and it just looked exactly like the clubs that I used to go to. I mean, obviously, like couldn't see TDV in Sunday Central, clubs like that. But yeah, it sort of took me back to being there, and like just the music, that like it just sounded different. Maybe because it's like playing on the TV or something, but it just, it was an amazing time. So if you started 99, 2000, that was a good time.
I feel like it's like the golden era, I think, of clubbing. I think we're just so lucky to be part of that because we went back, I think 2008, we went back for a frantic for New Year's, and it just wasn't the same. Like it just was a different crowd, different vibe. So I think when we were there, like we were literally so lucky to experience, that scene at the time. It was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then obviously, like for me, it kind of transitioned because I went from clubber to, then being a DJ. So it's different then as well. Like when you're on the other side, it's a different feel. But yeah, just watching all the footage, because the clothes that people were wearing, like it was just, I'm like, shit, yeah, I remember exactly. I remember going to there's a club where I started going called Rise. That was the thing that got me, and it wasn't even hard house, it was like house. Rob Tessera used to play there. And I think Anne Savage used to play there as well, but I didn't know who they were at the time. But I used to have this like a rain jacket thing. It was white, like bright white, and it had this pocket on the front, and I used to wear it. But then when the blue lights had hit it, at the time I thought I was like the coolest thing, like walking around like a fucking Christmas tree.
Absolutely. Some of my outfits, I look back and think, what was I thinking, honestly? Like seashells as a top. I had bikini tops. I had all like luminous outfits.
I used to do that as well.
From Cyberdog, I had and I was thinking, oh my God. And I thought I was very cool as well. I had the big buffalo shoes, Do you ever see the swear shoes? Like they were like literally, they weighed probably like a kg each, if not more.
Yeah.
And I used to wear those. And the sweatpants, do you ever see the sweatpants? So they're like those massive, like big, like wide pants. We used to wear those all the time as well. Yeah, we thought we were very cool.
Like a snowboarder.
Yeah, basically. With a crop top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you started at Fahrenheit, and then what else? I mean, like, so your introduction to clubbing would have been, well, I mean, the club I went to was cool at the time, but like Fahrenheit was a proper hard house club.
It was a proper hard house club. It was amazing. And then from there I went to Frantic. I think I went to Frantic Christmas because I started coming in like November 2000. And then from there sort of just like snowballed into Frantic and obviously Solid Sunday. And I was just absolutely hooked with Solid Sunday as well. And Fever, of course, Fever as well. And they actually started calling me Miss Solid Sunday for a while there because I was literally always up the front dancing from start to finish. Yeah, so that's actually how it all started because there was like a group on Facebook called Solid Sunday Nutters or something like that. And I put up a post saying we should organize a reunion. And then Steve Ryan, who was living in Hamilton just down the road from me, he's like, are you like serious about that? Because if you are, I'd love to help you. I think we should do it. And then it was the Rugby World Cup in 2011. So we thought, let's aim for that. So everyone might come over for the World Cup and we'll have the event then. And that's sort of how it all just started snowballing from there as well. And then A1 got involved, Steve Hill got involved, and Mandy Suze. And like it was meant to be a one-off thing. Like we just get everyone together for one big party, see all of our friends that's all moved home to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. And I never could have imagined that it would still be going, 14 years later.
Yeah.
So we ended up selling out like 6 weeks beforehand, and it was just one crazy, amazing party. It was such a fun. It was really cool. Because actually I emailed BK and Amy Farley and K90, looked like just randomly, and said, "Hi, I'm Janelle. I'm just getting in touch with you to see if you want to come play for me in New Zealand." And they were just like, "Yep, we'll come." And I was like, "Are you serious? That's amazing." And yeah, it was just incredible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've I can't even remember how many times I've played it now, but it's like one of the highlights of the deep. Well, it has been for me because some years it's been the only thing I've done, but even so, it's just an incredible party to be involved in. But let's just go back, so because you've got a bit of a your Elle Jae.
Elle Jae, yes.
Elle Jae, yeah. So, because have you had something out on Perfecto?
Yes, last year. Oh, that was just
that's a big deal.
That was definitely something I never could have dreamed of. So how that all came about was, I think it was about 2018 or 19. Donna told me, Donna Burt, one of my old friends from London, also plays for me all the time at LHHR. Like she was telling me how she's going to start doing some music with Alfie. And I was like, oh, I just want to know like how it works. How do you do it? The whole process and stuff. And obviously I've been into music since I was young, playing piano and things like that. And it was literally a dream of mine to make my own music one day. And she's like, you should talk to Alfie. And I was just like, oh, no, I don't feel like I've got it in me, like he might think my music's crap. She's like, you've just got to talk to him and just see what he says. Anyway, so I left it for like years and years. And then I think it was 2020, during lockdown actually. Obviously, we had lots of time on our hands, and I ended up buying myself my first MIDI keyboard and just started playing on the piano again for the first time in years and made all these melodies. And then I sent it to Alf, and he was just like, yep, I love this. We can definitely do something with this. And I think I kind of surprised a few people because it wasn't hard house. It was literally 100 BPM. It was more like a synthwave kind of track. But it was just something that I love, it's my kind of style of music I would listen to. And from then on, it just kind of just keep going and going. And we've made over 40 tracks now, I think.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Really, yeah.
And is it always with like piano and or
Well, generally, it's at the beginning. It was I'd always sort of like record my piano parts and we'd use them in the track. But these days, we sometimes will turn it into a synth instead of the piano, so it doesn't get too repetitive, you know. But it does sort of have. I think over time we kind of found our own unique sound. I feel like you can probably listen to all my tracks and go, "Oh yeah, that's one of hers." You know, it does sort of have its own signature sound, I guess. But yeah, it's very cool.
Wow. And then, so over the years, so you started doing that into it. So Hard House Reunion was running before you started doing your music.
Yes, that's about 5 years ago. I started making music. Yeah.
Do you prefer being a music producer or a promoter?
I feel like they kind of go hand in hand in a way, because I feel like if I didn't get into LHHR, I would never have made these connections I have, you know, with all these amazing producers, and it's literally, it was a dream of mine all my life to do something in music. So it's funny how it all sort of worked out, because I could never have dreamed that, like I say, doing that one event would have landed me where I am now, you know. And when I first started making music as well, I had never planned on releasing anything. It was just something I was doing for myself. And to show my kids, it doesn't matter how old you are, that, you know, you can do anything you want and follow your dream, sort of thing, I guess. And like I said, I was never planning on doing anything with it. But then I sent to my friend Malik. I don't know if you know Malik from London days, Malik Adeni.
Yeah, I know the name, yeah.
Yes. So I sent it to him and he was like, "You have got to release this music." He said, "You just have to just give it a go." And I was like, "Oh, I just don't feel like it's good enough, you know. I just don't feel like it's at that level of sending it out." He said, "Just try your luck and just see how you go." And so I did. And, you know, at the very beginning, it was very much a lot of doors shutting in my face, going, "No, it's not quite our sound. No, it's a bit too different," you know, because it didn't really fit into a box most of the time. Sort of like we would just put the melody together and just see how it sort of turns out, you know, just very authentically, I guess. And until I actually emailed Krafted in the UK, and they were just amazing. They were just like, "We can see your vision, we can see where you're coming from." And they said, "We'll take 6 tracks." And I was like, "What? Are you real? You know, are you serious?" And from there, I sort of got the confidence just to, you know what, it isn't that bad. There's something in it. And and from then on, I've signed every track we've done so far. So it's been really cool.
Wow. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I mean, that's like when I started, I did Kick It and I sent it around to Tidy Tracks and Nucleus and Mohawk and, you know, all these labels. Like, "Oh yeah, no, it's not for us, not for us." And that's how I started Vicious Circle, because everyone else turned it down. And then Kick It ends up being one of the, you know, like a bona fide anthem, you know, like
exactly. It just shows you, because I feel like, you know, the person listening to it might not find it right, but the next person might go, "I love it," you know. So you just have to keep trying and just find the right fit for it.
Yeah. I've just remembered Malik as well. I know exactly who you mean. I do remember him.
Yes, because he worked with Avicii for a while there. I think it was 2011. He was touring with him. So, you know, to kind of get his approval of, like, I think this is worth doing something with, means a lot to me. And he actually, when I was in 2021, he involved me in an NFT fundraiser. And for, who was it for? Oh my gosh, I can't remember what the name was now. Oh, Beneath the Waves. Sorry, that's Beneath the Waves. And it raised like 50,000K. Right. And it was really good. It was an amazing experience to see my music on this NFT that's being sold around the world to raise money. And it was all thanks to him. Like, he's an amazing person with a lot of connections. Yeah.
Yeah. So is he still in London?
No, he's in America.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, because no, he is American, isn't he?
He's American, yeah.
Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
San Francisco, but yeah, he still travels the world doing amazing things with music. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, say hello to him when, or in fact, if he's watching this, hi Malik.
I will. Yeah.
So the first Hard House reunion that you did, like you said, that was the one you sold out 6 weeks before.
Yeah.
And so that one, you got Farley, BK, and Phil.
That one was K90, BK, and Andy Farley.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm trying to think who we got the second year. I think it was Skull, Phil Reynolds.
Me.
And it was you, yes. It might have been, the three of you. And again, it just sold out. And we were just thinking, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, amazing. Anyway, so then we did it again in 2013. And I just had a baby then. So it was really a tough one because Sabe was literally, I think she was about 12 weeks old. So I was literally like clock watching all night going, I need to breastfeed. Because she was at the hotel, one of my friends. So I was just like, yep, just get the night over. So the next year I decided to have a break in 2014 because someone said to me as well, they said, look, you can't do it every year, not in New Zealand. You need to have a break from it. Maybe do it every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we had the break that year and then we did it again in 2015. And again, it was an amazing year. The first time I had Alfie over, actually. He just moved to Australia. I can't tell you exactly who was in the lineup, though. I'm trying to think. My brain does leave me sometimes. And then I had 2016 off again because I was pregnant with my son. I just had my son. So I decided, no, I can't have another newborn baby. It's just not going to work. Yeah. And then from 2017, we've just carried on all the way through till now. So even through COVID, that was a bit challenging, with I think we had to postpone maybe 3 or 4 times because they kept like saying, no, the borders are shut again. The borders are shut again. Like, oh my gosh. So it was a really, really tough time. But everyone was super supportive and everyone was like, as soon as everything happens, we're there, we'll get tickets. And they did. So we're grateful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this year, so this year's me, Farley. I'm back to back with High Dosage.
Yes, which is very exciting. They are buzzing about that. So we've got Andy Farley, Phil Reynolds, yourself, Lucy Fur with the 25th year anniversary. Yeah. We've got Craig Jones. We've got Jodie Six as well from Australia. Obviously, Alfie and Steve. So yeah, I think we've got about 9 internationals this year, which is definitely getting up there. So it's gonna be a good night. And we've actually got like extra lasers, more sound, because last year we had a bit of an issue with the sound in the venue, unfortunately, which was devastating. We tried to rectify it on the night, but unfortunately it was one of those things that we just couldn't fix. But we've had lots of talks with them about that. So they promised us that this year is going to be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And like for me as a, DJ coming over, like, and I've said this, in fact, I've said it on this podcast, like you guys look after people better than any promoter that I've met. And there's some people that do look after as well, but you guys are like, so I get to the room, like last year as an example, and there's the bag with the t-shirt in, and it's the right size because you've checked, and there's all the goodies. And what made me laugh last year was the joint cream. Because we're all getting old now.
I think everyone laughs about the joint cream. It's just hilarious, isn't it?
So I laid everything out on the bed and then took a photograph and sent it to my girls. And Eden wants to be a DJ now because she thinks that happens every time.
Oh, that's lovely. I just love it so much. I guess that's sort of my love language in a way, because I just really appreciate everyone obviously making the effort to come, whether it's from the UK or from Australia. Like, I still know you're giving up your time with your family to be there with us, and I don't take that lightly. I don't, I just really appreciate it. So I just like to look after everyone. So when you get there, you've got all your goodies, your tea and your coffee and your milk and your treats and stuff to keep you going.
What's been the biggest sort of challenge? I mean, obviously COVID was, rough. But in terms of, I mean, I know you've got a great support sort of network, like you working with Steve, obviously, and
yes,
the other guys. But what have you found to be the biggest challenge?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's been a few, some that I can't probably talk about on here.
Tell me after.
No, I guess I probably found the last couple of years, everyone says there's been a bit of a recession in New Zealand. It's definitely been the toughest couple of years, just to try and get people to commit, to coming. Because previous years the tickets kind of just sell themselves, like you don't have to do much. It just happens. Whereas you've definitely noticed that New Zealand is struggling, and I've heard that from other promoters as well, that things are just really tough for us at the moment. People just can't afford to do these things, especially if they're traveling from Christchurch or Wellington or Australia. It's, it's a costly thing to do. So you've just got to try and stand out from the crowd and just be the best that you can be, But yeah, I think that's just been the toughest thing we've definitely dealt with, apart from COVID, which was definitely the hardest. But yeah, I guess we'll get there eventually. They say things are looking up, so fingers crossed that it gets better in the next few years.
Yeah, hopefully. And what's been the sort of best thing from your point of view in like running these events?
Oh, there's just so many things. I just always just leave like just thinking, I can't believe we just did that. It's such a rewarding experience. Especially when you talk to people and they're like, oh, this is my wife. I met her here 3 years ago. We met here and we're now married, and things like that. I just feel like what I love about music is it just brings people together, I guess, and to be kind of the person, as part of a team that does that to make people happy. I think it's just, it's definitely one of my favorite things about it. And obviously meeting the people that I've met through the event, which I've never would have met otherwise. And there's like these ongoing friendships that I've had over the last 14 plus years because of it. Yeah, it's nice. Just amazing. That's why I'm like, can I ever stop? When am I going to stop? Because like our demographic is getting like to the mid 50s now, and I'm like, mid 30s to mid 50s, and you just think, how much longer can we go? But I think we'll just keep going until we decide, okay, it's not happening anymore. But yeah.
Well, if you're enjoying it and everyone that's coming is enjoying it, then just keep doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the thing when you think about like when we were kids. Like I see pictures of my dad when he was younger than I am now, but he seemed like not an old man.
He looks older. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 50-year-old these days is not like a 50-year-old was in the 80s.
I totally agree. And I think doing things like this, it keeps you young as well. If you keep going out and doing cool things, and and I guess like we had kids a bit later on. So the kids obviously keep us young as well, but it's so true about that. But I think one of our oldest covers, I think she just turned 60, Adele, if you're listening. She just moved back to the UK actually. Because the clubbing scene there was obviously a lot better. She's from the UK originally, but she was like always our number one fan. She was the first person to buy a ticket. She was up the front all night dancing. She was a legend. So I really miss her. But I just think, still going at 60, I think that's a pretty good go.
Yeah. Well, Andy Farley must be nearly 60 now.
He must be getting there. No, Andy, we're joking. A day over 45.
But it's like, so a couple of weeks ago I played in Brisbane, and there was a couple there who they used to come and see me play when I played Brisbane 25 years ago, and then they were there with their son now, like the son's 18, 19 to whatever. So then they're introducing me to his kid, to their kid.
Yeah. And then you feel really old. You're like, okay.
Well, when I go back to England in November, there's a guy.
Insomniacs?
Yeah, Insomniac's 26th birthday, and there's a guy who hopefully is going to be there. I'm sure he was there at the 25th birthday. But backtrack 20 2 years ago, maybe. And I'm DJing in fact, it's the same club. It's Culver, the Emporium, where they do used to do Storm. That's where Insomniac. So Lisa Lashes, pardon me, Lisa Lashes is doing Lashed this weekend at that club, and then the Insomniac's 26th birthday is there. Amazing club. So I'm DJing, and I look over at this kid, and he's at the edge of the DJ box, and he's showing me his arm, but I'm like in the middle of a mix, and I'm trying to look, and he's got Glazby tattooed on his arm, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? So I finish my mix, and I go over and I speak to him. I'm like, what? Is that real? He's like, yeah. I went, why have you got that on your arm? And he said, well, it's my son's name. So I'm like, because obviously Glazby's a surname. You know, like, so I'm like, what, your son's called Glazby? I said, so your name's Glazby? And he's like, no. I'm I'm trying to work this out. And so what, your girlfriend's name's Glazby? He's like, no. They'd called the son, his surname's Gardner. This kid is called Glazby Gardner. His first name is Glazby.
Oh, please, and they're so sweet. That's like really cool.
And his sister's called Ingo. So he's got Ingo on one arm and Glazby on the other.
That's crazy.
And this kid's like 20 odd years old now, and he's
That's going to make you feel good, though, to think that someone thinks that much of you to call these.
I mean, it's yeah, like, but I just could. But my thought was always, what did his girlfriend or wife, whatever she is, what did her parents think when they went to the hospital and they went, meet your grandson, Glazby?
Glazby.
They must be thinking, what the fuck?
That is so funny. Actually, reminds me of a story when we toured Darude a few years ago. It was a couple of years ago now. This guy came to us and he's like, please, I have to meet Darude. I just have to meet him. We're just like, okay, we'll check if he wants to, see anybody. So we took him through. He's like, Darude, you've got to see my tattoo. And on his calf, he had a QR code. And he's like, please, you've got to scan this QR code. And when Darude did it, we videoed the whole thing. It went to Sandstorm. And Darude was just like, this is insane. Wow. So it's the same sort of thing, it's like this crazy super fan. Yeah.
It's amazing that a tattoo would actually work as a
QR code. It worked. It actually worked. Yeah. I just sent you the video, actually. It was really entertaining.
You'd be gutted, wouldn't you, if you had the tattoo and then it didn't work?
It didn't work. And he's like, I promise you, it definitely works. It does. It's Sandstorm.
My favourite thing during COVID was with people that used to walk around with Sharpies, and when they were going into cafes, they just put a little mark, on the QR, the check-in thing, so that they'd stop working. Yeah. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so this weekend, sorry, not this weekend, next weekend. Well, this weekend, as you're watching it, this weekend, have the set times been announced yet?
Not yet. I normally do that like a few days out, but it's all set in stone. We've printed the lanyard cards and everything, so it's all ready to go.
So you can tell me after when we're off air.
I can tell you afterwards. Yes.
Okay. And what's the furthest anyone's that you know of? What's other than the DJs that have obviously flown from the UK, but like how far and wide do people come from? Because they're not everyone's from Auckland, are they?
There was one guy that's very memorable. I think it was the very first one we did, 2011. He's like on all the videos, and he wore like a beautiful white suit. He just looked, amazing. And he came from Dubai. And we were just like, how on earth did you even hear about this event? And I've never seen him since, but I was just like blown away. And he was like the life of the party. He literally was in every photo and every video. He was amazing. So yeah, I would say Dubai probably. Obviously, we had Yoji that came over from Japan, and he brought a few. Was it the same year? I think it was the same year that he brought a few friends from Japan with him as well.
Right.
Yeah. And they were Andy Farley fans, so they were very excited to meet Andy Farley.
Yeah. Everyone's an Andy Farley fan.
Yeah, everyone loves Andy Farley. He's amazing. He's just so lovely and so easy to hang out with, and we just adore him.
Yeah. But if you ever go to his hotel room, don't let him make you coffee.
Really? Why not?
Because he doesn't know how to use the machine. When we
Is
were
he
at Hard
then?
House Reunion a couple of years ago, we were staying, I can't remember what the hotel was, but I went to his room and he made a coffee, and I'm trying to think how he'd done it. But you put the pod in the machine and you close it down.
Yeah. But it obviously didn't puncture it or something. Just water.
No, but he didn't. He'd like opened the thing and put I think he'd like emptied the thing into the cup, and then whatever he'd done, it was absolutely ridiculous. So
What do you think about that?
he's a genius on the decks, a little bit like John Frusciante from the Chili Peppers. The guitarist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like a genius, but he doesn't know how to drive a car.
What?
He can't drive.
Are you serious?
Apparently. But yeah, so like Farley's like that. He's an absolute genius behind the decks, but he doesn't know how to work an espresso machine.
We can't make a coffee. We had him over. It was meant to be actually in 2020. It was a funny story. Well, it wasn't funny at the time, but he flew over and we got him a side gig in Brisbane. And he was in Brisbane when we were like, shit, things are getting real bad with COVID, Anyway, so it was literally over that weekend. And we said to him, look, it's up to you if you want to take the risk and come to New Zealand to do your 7-hour set, or would you rather just go home now in case things get real bad? And he said, look, I just think it's the best thing to go home just in case. And thank goodness he did, because on the Monday, I think he was meant to fly on the Sunday, and on the Monday they said borders are shut. So he would have been stuck here for God knows how long if he did come to New Zealand. Wow. Anyway, so it took us like 2 or 3 years to finally get him back to do his 7-hour set. But when he did, oh my God, it was just mind-blowing. I don't know how he stood there for 7 hours, no complaints, the smile on his face, and he just played the most incredible set. It was amazing.
He's a professional.
He is, and he's just, bit of a legend.
Well, I was talking to, I don't know if you saw Amber D's episode, but
no, not yet.
I thought I did well when I did my 10-hour set. She did it, what was it, 90 hours she did? I think she did 90-hour live stream, apparently.
Oh my gosh, how's that even possible?
Well, that's what I thought, but she reckons she did it, so.
Straight, like 90, like 90 straight.
90, yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to figure out how many days that is. That's a lot of days. Yeah.
A lot of days, yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do you go to the toilet? And that'd be.
Well, I can tell you how you do it on a 10-hour set. You wait until 8 hours and 34 minutes, and then you put "Are You All Ready" on and leg it. And then go into a panic when you're standing there. Well, obviously you wouldn't be standing there, but when I was just going and going and going, and I could hear the track. So Matt's doing a Nazi salute to his dog. I could hear the track, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna run out of track. And then I just managed to get back in time to mix the next track in, and 8 hours and 34 minutes. Because when I've listened to that set a few times, so I know exactly when it was. Yeah.
That would be very stressful. You've been very new to the DJ scene. It's been a couple of years since I started learning. I have so much more appreciation for what DJs do. Like, I think before that, I was a little bit green. I didn't really understand how many hours go into it and the prep. And, it takes a lot of time, doesn't it? And also obviously reading the crowd, and if it's not working, to change it up and all those sort of things. So,
I think, like, for me, I know it sounds like a bit of a dick move, but I just always played for myself. I just played what I thought was right, and then I was just lucky that people liked it. I could have gone down that route and people have gone, oh no, I'm not into that. But luckily for me, it was I was having this conversation today, actually, because I remember there's a new kid that's working with us, and he's spending a lot of time, like learning the ropes. And we ended up talking about DJing, and he was asking, I can't remember, he was asking something. And I said that there was a kid in a club. I think it might have been in London, but this kid came up and asked me how many hours a week that I practice. And then when I told him that I didn't, and at that point I didn't even own any decks, And this guy was like, I thought he was going to start crying. He was so, because in his mind, like Paul Glazby would just be mixing 9 hours a day, and you know, like. But you get to a certain point when you've done it so much, like there would have been, you know, when I was 19, 20, 21, I would have been mixing for probably 12, 14 hours a day. You know, like I was just always doing it, and that 10,000 hours, you know, like it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert. I would have done that in just a few years, you know. But then you've got someone like Farley who'd been doing it all that time before, you know, like he's next level.
Like I feel like if I really wanted to one day, obviously one day, long time from now, call myself a DJ, which I don't do right now. I don't feel like I've qualified for that yet, but I'd love to mix vinyl because I feel like that is the ultimate, you know, like to start from like the beginning, because I'm like a vinyl junkie. I love vinyl. And it's like one of my things I want to do on my bucket list one day is just to learn how to do vinyl, you know, to actually learn exactly what you guys used to do back in those days. I mean, I had the opportunity in London many times, but I would be like, not today. Nowadays, I'm like, I would love to actually learn, you know, exactly how it all works. And
Well, I mean, the nice thing, I was watching this thing the other day, or yesterday, in fact, and it was saying about the, I think it was like the sync button, you know, like, because so these days, like people can just press that and they don't even need to beat match. I don't even know how that works. Because the thing is, all the technology with DJing is kind of, I mean, I used to use CD players, but this whole, you know, USB and the stuff that's like, I have to be super careful what I'm pressing because half of the shit I don't know what it does. You know, like I have to get there, like get the USB in, right? Okay, the, you know, the faders. Yeah. In fact, when I played in what was it? When I played in Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, I started mixing my first track in. So Mr. S was on before me, and he'd been playing he only plays vinyl. He's never done digital, I don't think. He was playing vinyl that night. So I'm mixing into his last track. And then when I'm sort of like halfway, I was conscious that I couldn't hear my track coming through the monitors. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is, like, I can hear it in my headphones, so it must be working, but I couldn't work out what. And because I never use the crossfader, I just have it set to the middle and just use the faders. But he'd been using the crossfader. So I'd mixed in, and I'm like deep into the mix, you know, like it should have been like the bass line from my track should have been playing, but it's not. So I just had to turn his off and you know, like just start mine, you know, just do a bit of a clap and then start mine. But I was like, Jesus Christ. I need one of those like DJing for dummies books to but it's like there's nowhere that I can go to learn what this stuff does, and I'm not going to start playing around with stuff while I'm in front of, you know, 700 people or whatever. So yeah, I think it's time for me to invest in, because I want my girls to learn as well. So I think it's time for me to get some and then actually learn what all this shit does, you know.
I just think, you know, like people like you that have children, they've got all these amazing, you know, talents and things. So you should definitely pass it on, you know, because I'm going to do the same with my kids as well. Like my kids are both into playing piano now. My daughter's playing the bass guitar as well. They're singing. And like the next thing is to try and teach them the DJing as well. Because I feel like if they've got those skills, then it's up to you whether they want to use them or not, you know. But if you've got them, definitely pass them on. It's so cool.
Yeah,
definitely. Eden as well, the one that you just made with her, big fish, little fish.
Big fish. Yeah. Well, I'm the big fish. She's the little fish. She was very excited. I mean, it's all, you know, it's old news to her now, but you know, like every week, Daddy, when's it coming out? And Ben Stevens had told us it was coming out in whenever it was, but then he'd mix something up with the catalogue, so we had to wait another 10 weeks because it was coming out 10 releases later than he thought. So, but yeah, she was excited to show her friends. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah. But I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't, if it wasn't for her. I don't think I would have made. I wouldn't like. I mean, now I did a new track last night with Frank Farrell, but I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for her. It was only because she was like kind of inspired me to make it, because she was singing.
So cool! I love that.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. So I decided making a track with Sabe, my daughter. She's 12. And they both featured in a track I did back, it was a couple of years ago. They both sang in it in the background. But I thought it'd be quite cool because she's been doing banquets as well. So I thought it'd be quite cool to sort of give her this platform where she can do something, you know, but like a bit of a level up from that. And she just thought it was the best thing. And Alfie was amazing throughout the whole process, of course. And initially it was just like the two of us singing together. But when we did the track in the end, I said to him, just put me in the background and just make her voice feature, you know, throughout. Honestly, like it's just, it makes me cry every time I hear it. It's just beautiful. And she's just like, Mommy, don't play it. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, it's so beautiful. So no, it's really cool. I just love seeing my kids being into music because I never force it on them. But I feel like they've always been surrounded by music, like I was when I was little, and it's just in them. They're always singing and, you know, on the piano and playing music and stuff, and just love.
Yeah. My eldest, Nevaeh, because I said to her, "You come and we'll do something so that you can be on the track." She's like, "I don't want to do that." I'm like, "Oh, okay," but she said to me we're just in the car, and she's like, "I'm so glad I grew up with your musical influence." She said, "Because my friends listen to some right crap."
I know. Some of the music taste is like real bad, hey? Oh, that's really cool. When they think their dad is cool, you're definitely winning, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, darling, I cannot wait to come over this weekend. This is going to come out next week, so we need to say this weekend. And while we're there, we're also doing we're going to do a special When I Grow Up episode. So for anyone that doesn't know, we're going to get basically anyone that wants to be involved. So there's going to be Farley, Rob Tessera, Phil, Steve, Alfie's over, isn't he?
Yes, Alfie's over. Lucy,
Lucy,
Amon, High Dosage, the whole crew. I might just keep their goodie bag, and then they have to come and get it, and then we'll make them sit down with you and have a quick chat.
Exactly. Yeah. So so then we're going to get Matt the Maestro to edit it all together into a special episode that will come out not the Tuesday after the gig, but the week after that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're excited. Yeah.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah. All right, darling. Well, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming on. It's been good to catch up, and I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you, Paul. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
This is When I Grow Up with Paul Glazby.